Welcome to episode 5. As you can see, my co-host here is missing. So I'm doing this show solo. He's not feeling well, or he may not be feeling well. But he'll be with us next week, hopefully. So let's jump right into it. Got a lot of good stories for you. We are going to start off with some not so good news. PS5 prices going up. PS5 price to increase. This is from a PlayStation blog, directly from PlayStation. So they said their prices are increasing in select markets due to global economic environment, including high inflation rates. Now, they listed a few of the markets here: Europe, UK, Japan, China, Australia, Mexico, and Canada. And surprisingly, the US is not on that list. So if you're in the US, congratulations, you continue to attempt to buy your PS5 at $500. Even though I know with scalpers, a lot of you have paid a lot more than $500. Some of you have paid, $1,100? I've heard all the way up to $2,000. Crazy prices. But this is what they say here. While this price increase is a necessity given to the current global economic environment and its impact, Sony Interactive Entertainment business, that's what SIE is, our top priority continues to be improving the PS5 supply situation so that many players as possible can experience everything that the PS5 offers, and that is still to come. So they're always mentioning how they're working on that supply situation. So hopefully you can get one. And if you guys are in Europe, UK, Japan, or any of these countries listed here, then hopefully maybe the prices will come back down eventually. Despite the PS5 hike, I'm just checking on our viewers here. Despite the PS5 price hike, Microsoft and Nintendo won't be raising the console prices for now. I don't see why they would. If someone else raises the prices, that's good for them. It's good for competition. They could say, hey, we're cheaper, and it might be the deciding factor for some people. This is going to be, by the way, it's a $50 price hike. So I don't know, maybe a $50 difference is enough for some people to decide to go for an Xbox or a Switch instead of the PlayStation. Earlier today, Sony announced that in its most regions, PS5 would see a price increase as a result of inflation. In response to this news, people began questioning whether other console makers would enact similar price increases. The answer, at least for now, seems to be no, but both Nintendo and Microsoft were careful to open the possibility for future price hikes. So they didn't say, nah, we'll never do that. They said, no, just for now, no. After Sony confirmed that due to ongoing global inflation, as of now, Xbox and Nintendo don't have any plans. It is one of those things where if one person raises the price, there was no such thing as a $1,000 phone until the iPhone came out, and it was big news that it's going to be the first phone to be over $1,000. And right after they did that, it's pretty standard now. Any phone that comes out is going to be over $1,000. So I think that's what they're commenting on here is if the PS5 goes up in price, then that kind of gives permission for everyone else to go up in price. It's kind of like the opposite of competitive pricing. You know, someone lowers their price and everyone's buying that. Now the competitors have to lower their price. But if someone raises their price, then everyone else can raise their price and they say, hey, well, this is just the new standard. So as of now, Microsoft and Nintendo will not be raising the prices for their console. And if you live in the US, none of this applies to you anyway. Now, last week when we were filming the episode, as we were filming it, HBO released this trailer here. And kind of upset we didn't get to talk about it. It would have been very timely, but we could. It was more of a teaser than a trailer. But they finally showed some footage from The Last of Us, and it comes in right at about the minute and 40 seconds. So I'm
Everybody I have cared for has either died or left me.
You have no idea what loss is.
And then they mix in, I don't know why it ended with a dragon. That's definitely Game of Thrones. But let's take a closer look at that. See some details you might have missed. All right, so this is the winter section. I'm not sure what part of the game this is supposed to be, because when it was winter like this, you were playing as Ellie by herself. Joel was already injured at this point, unless you're just getting to the school, but it had just started to snow then. So I'm not sure what that scene is
Everybody
from.
I have
This to me, this is the Bill's hideout. This looks like a church to me. You see the windows up here. There's whatever this is here. So this is right after you meet Bill, and now you guys are getting ready to go retrieve that battery from the truck. I believe that's where this takes place. But the quote is not from this scene. The quote that you hear, "Everyone I've ever cared for has either died or left me," that's from way later on in the game. So, you know, that's what they do in trailers. They mix and match audio from one scene to visuals from another.
cared for has either died.
This is him and his daughter, who in the game was white and blonde hair. She looks mixed. That's definitely not blonde hair or even a white person's hair. So this looks like the opening scene where the infection first breaks out. Her leg is broken from the car accident, so he's carrying her. At first when I saw this, I thought it was Joel carrying Ellie through the hospital. But you could see they're outside, there's fire, and that's definitely not Ellie. So this must be the opening scene, and I guess his daughter is mixed in the TV show.
Or left me.
Yeah, so you get a better look at her here. I'm not sure. See, he looks like he's indoors in this part. So maybe the chase is a little bit different, because the part where he was holding her and running with her, that was all took place in the streets. So we'll see how that plays out on the TV show. It looks like maybe he goes through some buildings in the TV show. This is where the quote is actually from. This is when she finds that ranch with a house, and she finds a diary, and she's kind of reading through it, and Joel and his brother Tommy get on a horse to go find her, and then he finds her in this house here.
You have no idea what loss is.
Not sure where this scene is from. This looks like the truck scene where they get ambushed. And that's Bill. A little smaller. He lost some weight. But that looks like Bill, especially the way he takes the gas mask off. That's basically how the same shot he was. That's how he was introduced in the game, with that same shot of him coming out and taking his mask off like that.
You have no idea what loss is.
Now, I didn't notice this before. I thought it was just spores, but when I paused it, there's a face right here. So this is someone who's really infected. Let me put this full screen so you can see that. Yeah. Come on, go back. Yep. So I don't know what stage of the infection this would be. This looks like past a clicker. So either this person has died already, or this is one of the ones that you walk past and all of a sudden they wake up and come after you. But they're pointing the flashlight right in their face, so I don't know. This must be a dead one. I'm pretty sure this is a dead one, but this looks exactly like it did in the game, and it also looks pretty realistic. Like, this is what I would imagine how a fungus would spread. I'm sure they got this I'm sure they had some reference images and looked at some real life fungus, because this looks pretty realistic. And then this is the dragon that Ellie rides away on after she I don't know why they threw that dragon in at the end. But that's all we got for now. So that's The Last of Us. We finally got a trailer or some footage. We've been seeing a lot of photos and behind the scenes stuff, but this is the first time we got to see something in motion. So let me know what you guys think of the trailer. Let me know. I think the voices are on point. This guy sounds like Joel. The way Ellie delivers her lines is fine for me.
I've cared.
Still doesn't really look like her, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you excited after seeing this trailer? Are you disappointed? Are you still skeptical? Let me know in the comments. Now we got one more announcement about game conference. That's the PlayStation Showcase here. It's going to be coming September 9th, which, what else was coming? Oh, the Marvel's Disney and Marvel Showcase is going to be on the same day. So this is at 1 p.m. Pacific, which is what? Like 4 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully they won't be at the same time. Otherwise, you're going to have to pick if you want to watch the PlayStation Showcase or if you want to watch Marvel. But PlayStation says here you're going to get a sneak peek at the future of PS5 with updates from PlayStation Studios and industry-leading developers. Hope to see you there. So this sounds like it's a little bigger than their State of Play, where they usually just show off a bunch of indie games. So hopefully we'll get to hear about The Last of Us multiplayer. That's what I'm really excited about. Not I'm excited about the remaster too, but I mean, we got enough details on that. But what we haven't heard much of is the multiplayer that they were supposed to come out for the second game. They said it was going to come out a year later, and now it's been who knows how many years, and we still haven't heard anything about the multiplayer. So I hope to hear something about that. Let me know what you guys are excited about in the comments. What game are you looking forward to seeing announced, and what game do you want to hear about the most in this Sony conference? All right, we got some more bad news for Sony. Maybe this will explain the price hike of $50. It says PlayStation was hit by a $5.9 billion lawsuit for ripping people off on digital games. The lawsuit's potential claimants include up to nearly 9 million Sony users. So what's all this about? Let me see. Maybe I got ripped off. A customer rights advocacy group is suing Sony for charging a 30% commission fee on all digital purchases made through the UK's, so it's a UK thing, PlayStation Store. This is functionally a class action lawsuit that seeks to distribute billions of dollars to players who have used the PlayStation UK store since August 16th. All right, so this won't be applying to anybody in the US. But if you're in the UK, listen up. According to the Sky News, the lawsuit was filed with the Competition Appeal Tribunal on August 19th. Sony dominates the digital distribution of PlayStation games and in-game content, said one lawyer leading the lawsuit. It has developed an anti-competitive strategy which has resulted in excessive prices to customers that are out of all proportion to the cost of Sony providing its service. Kotaku reached out to Sony for a comment but did not obtain one by the time of publication. The argument here is that Sony has a near monopoly on the sale of digital games. All right, so basically they're saying there's a price hike, a 30% tax, I guess you could say, and an advocacy group has created this lawsuit to get some of the money back. So I guess if you're in the UK, by the time they distribute it, how many say 9 million? By the time they distribute it to 9 million people, what's 5.9 billion divided by 9 million? It's not going to be much. That's how these things always work. You end up getting like $15. But hey, sign up for the class action if you want your $15. Dualsens. All right, the Dualsens has a Pro controller. I got this tab open here because I know Xbox has been doing these Elite controllers for a while, And you could always buy like a third-party
My name's
controller
Alitsu.
for PlayStation, but it was never anything from PlayStation. So as far as I know, this is the first time PlayStation has done their own Pro controller. This is just a quick look at the Elite, just to compare it. There you go. So this is the 2 actually. Who knows? Maybe they're working on a 3 by now. But here's PlayStation's. I'll go ahead and mute that. And of course, this is still going to have the Dualsens, so you have the haptic feedback on the triggers and all that. There you go. Customizable, removable parts. It's a lot like, it's got a textured trigger button, textured touchpad with the PlayStation symbols on them. So there you go. If you're a pro gamer and you like the customizable buttons and the extra buttons on the back and all of that, check this out. Let me see how much they're selling it for. Is it for sale yet? How do you... Come on, Sony, what is the price? I want to buy it. Why are you making it so difficult? Maybe it's not out yet. Let's take a look here in the comments. Perfect your gameplay. Stick module is really something special. That means your sticks aren't drifting to the point where it's unplayable. You can just replace the whole module. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. There's top comment here. So the ability to swap out stick modules is really something special. That means when your sticks start drifting to the point where it's unplayable, you just swap out the modules. So you can look at it as, even if you're not a pro gamer, you have a module controller. If one component breaks, you just replace that component. You don't have to buy a brand new controller. It depends on how much the components cost. It might be a smart deal. So that's the Dualsens Edge wireless controller. So Xbox's is called Elite. Dualsens is called Edge. All right. PlayStation VR 2 says it's coming in 2023. We get trickles of information with this one. No conference. Maybe, who knows, maybe they'll talk about it at this upcoming PlayStation showcase. But as of now, we got that look at the software, what the software will look like. And now we have a year, but not even a season or a quarter. It doesn't say fall of 2023 or summer or anything like that. But we know it's coming next year. So that's just a quick update on the PlayStation VR. All right, Xbox's Phil Spencer wants to see fewer platform exclusives and more crossplay in the future. And we talked about Phil Spencer in the past. He's very just pro gamer, you know? And he doesn't really play into the console wars. I think the last time we mentioned him on the show, he was talking about how God of War is his most anticipated game, which is a PS4 game. So he's kind of really going against this whole Xbox versus PlayStation thing. And let's see what he says here. Xbox boss Phil Spencer has said he'd like to see more games released that are not tied down to one specific platform, which will in turn allow for more cross-play opportunities. That's true. That's why some of the biggest games like Fortnite and what's another really big cross-platform? A lot of these really big games is because they're cross-platform. You can play it from PlayStation to Xbox. Call of Duty, Warzone is really big, and you don't have to have the same console to play that game with each other. So it's good for the developer, but it's also good for the players who you don't have to ask your friend, do you have this console, before you can play online. You just have to ask, do you have this game? And with most of the games now being free to play, all you have to ask them is, hey, go download it and we could play. So when he was chatting to Bloomberg, Spencer stated that the platform exclusives are something we were all going to see less and less of in the future, as he hopes for an industry that encourages people to feel safe, and included, regardless of what device they play on. I get what he's saying when it comes to like multiplayer games, but when he's talking about a future of less and less exclusives, I don't think Sony is on the same page as them. Sony is getting more and more exclusives, and it's a big reason that I stay with Sony and I haven't gotten an Xbox, because I don't know what reason to get an Xbox. You know, everything that I want to play, I could play on the PlayStation. And then the games that I really want to play, like, you know, God of War, The Last of Us, Uncharted, Horizon, all these like story-driven games that I'm really into are only on the PlayStation 5. So the games that I really want to play are exclusive, or they're on both consoles. So there isn't a game that I really want to play that's only on Xbox. So of course that's the one of the main reasons I'm going to stick with the PS5. And I don't know if Phil Spencer doesn't plan on having any exclusives in the future, and I don't know how that's going to work for Xbox, you know, not having any exclusives at all. It's good for the gamer, but I don't know how good that is for Xbox as a business model. But I guess we'll see how that plays out. We got one last story, and I'm kind of speeding through this episode. I'm keeping it short because I don't have my co-host with me, so I have no one to banter with or to bounce ideas off of. So we're gonna get through these stories, and next episode he'll be back. And I also have another game for us to play, but I didn't want to play it by myself. So I'm going to wait next week when he's back with us, and we'll play that game that I promised, which is the sound of a cutscene. And you have to try to guess what game it is based on the sound of the cutscene. All right. Netflix has heard, I don't know if you guys know this, but Netflix, they watch every episode of the podcast. You know, they tune in every episode. And they didn't like our story about how no one knew that they had games available. They didn't like that. We laughed at them. So now they got new job ads where they're rapidly expanding new gaming offers. So they saw our video. They saw that nobody knows that they have video games, and they said, that's it. Put out the ad. We're hiring. We're doubling down. People are going to know that we have games. This is what the game title says. I mean, not the game title, the ad listing. You will assist game developers to succeed in writing high quality games for Netflix cloud games ecosystem. So maybe they're trying to come out with some AAA games. Speaking of exclusives, might be some Netflix exclusives. If they can get a really big game that everybody's talking about, and it's only on Netflix, that'll make some more people aware of the fact that they do offer games. Netflix is looking to rapidly expand the new gaming offerings available in its cloud gaming service. That's according to the new job advertisement put out by the company that seeks a new senior software engineer with experience with game development. So hopefully in the next few years, cloud gaming will be a little more advanced than it is now. There's a lot of big companies that have tried cloud gaming, like Google with Stadia, Xbox with, what is it called, Game Pass. I guess even you could count PlayStation with Remote Play, even though it's just a casting of your entire system. But it looks like, oh my God, I'm away from the mic. It looks like Netflix wants to get into cloud gaming too. So they're going to start adding some games. They already have games now. I guess they're going to get more serious. They're going to start adding some, maybe some AAA games, some big titles, and we'll see how that goes. But that's all for this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Next one will be a little more, the regular length, the whole 2-hour episode, and I'll have Javon with me. So thanks for watching this sweet short episode. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.